Team Steve. Says Bob. The thing is, to keep the race fair, we drew names. You're on a team with duck, turtle, and snail. Uh-huh. Do we even have to say it? Fine. First place. That's one excited horse. Steve wins the race-a-thon every year because his body is built for running. Powerful hindquarters. That means strong bum muscles. Long neck that can stretch across the finish line. Big chest for deep breaths. Super long legs. Long legs means that Steve has a long stride. That means that he can take big steps. Nobody in the forest has longer legs than Steve. My legs are a bit longer, aren't they? Yes, they are, Steve. They just keep going and going. No wonder Steve always wins. But this year, the race-a-thon rules have changed. What does relay mean? Race-a-thon, relay race, next weekend. Here we go. Bob explains that a relay is a race between teams. A team has 4 runners who each have to run a section of the race. No problemo, says Steve. I will be on a team with Deer, Rabbit, and who else is fast? Oh, and Fox. Says Bob. The thing is, to keep the race fair, we drew names. You're on a team with Duck, Turtle, and Snail. Uh-huh. Wait a sec, says Steve. A duck waddles, a turtle walks, and a snail is a snail. How are we supposed to win? I don't know, Steve, but good luck figuring that out, says Bob. This is a conundrum. That means a puzzle. Steve will have to give this some thought. You probably have lots of wisdom to share. What if you coached us? Think. Maybe you could give us some pointers, coach us? Think. You're such a fast runner, maybe you could coach us. Think. Eureka! That means Steve has an idea. I could coach you guys. I am such a fast runner, and I have won lots of races. I could share my running wisdom. There's an idea. Good thinking, Steve. What a problem solver. Steve decides he's going to be the best coach ever. After all, winning a race has probably been a lifelong dream for his teammates. Steve coaches and coaches. Take deep breaths. Lift those hooves. Stretch that neck. And gives lots and lots of advice, maybe more than necessary. You're going easy on the sugar cubes, right? Eat 3 bowls of oats a day. Get lots of rest and make sure you're sleeping on a fresh straw. Oh, and brush your teeth. It won't help you run faster, but it is very good advice. Finally, the day of the race-a-thon arrives. The animals are very excited, even though the forecast calls for rain. Don't worry, team. Running in the rain is just like running when it is dry, only cold, wet, and slippery. Uh-oh, here comes the rain. Runners, to your posts. I'll leave you with this treasured piece of wisdom that my great-uncle Tea-Biscuit shared with me, says Steve. A few good neighs before the big race, and your hooves will take you to first place. Does quacking work? Or snapping? The racers find their posts. briar patch, steep hill, marsh, home stretch. Neigh, neigh, neigh! Always with the neighing. On your marks, get set, go! And the race begins. Turtle is slow off the mark, but Deer is off like a shot, and Skunk is hot on his heels. Meanwhile, at post 4, Steve is rooting for his team. Go, Turtle! It gets prickly in the briar patch. Meep! Ouch! A tisket, a tasket, my green shell is fantastic. But those sharp thorns are no match for Turtle's shell, and he plods ahead. Look at Turtle clippity-clopping. He must really be picking up those hooves. Oh boy. Turtle is the first to arrive at the steep hill. They're way behind. Your turn, Snail. And that means Snail is the first to leave. Boing! Look at Snail gallop! Good grief! Snail roars her way to the marsh, where things get really sticky. The banks are flooded. Here you go, Duck. We can't get over it, and we can't go around it. Nope, gotta go through it, guys. Way to stretch your neck, Duck. It's the home stretch, and now all Steve has to do is run to the finish line, and that shouldn't be difficult for Steve at all. Oh my goodness, our team is winning. Duck, we're really winning. Come on, Porcupine, you can do it. Go, Owl. Steve is so excited that he doesn't notice the other teams are catching up, or that the rain has stopped. Great job, Duck. I've really taught you well. Steve? I'm really proud of you guys, and especially proud of myself. Whew! I mean, because of my running wisdom, the 3 of you are going to achieve a lifelong dream. Gosh, coaching is so rewarding. We're losing the race, Steve. What? Steve is flabbergasted. That means shocked and surprised. He gallops off and tries his best to catch up. Go, Steve! Steve picks up his hooves and takes deep breaths and stretches his neck long to reach the finish line, and he loses by a long shot. The other 2 teams have tied for first place. Woohoo! All right, yay! That means all 8 of us are winners. Hooray! Steve feels awful and a little embarrassed. You okay, Steve? No, I am feeling really awful. I let down the entire team. Don't worry about us. Thanks to your coaching, we were all faster than we ever were before, says Duck. That's true, says Steve. And also, by losing, I helped 2 teams win. And that means I am an even better coach than I thought. I guess so. Sure, Steve. If it makes you feel better, then yeah. New Raceathon champ, photobomb. Kelly Collier is the author and illustrator of 2 Steve the Horse books. The idea for Team Steve came to her while watching the Summer Olympics games on TV. Unlike Steve, Kelly does not have a talent for running, but she likes to think that if her drawing funny-looking horses were an Olympic sport, she would win a medal. Kelly lives in Toronto, Ontario.